Going once, going twice. Sold.
Hi, this is Ferre. I'm with TaxSaleSupport.com. I'm with Swenson, and this is one of our Property Deal of the Day videos where we look at different properties that have come through the tax sale market recently. So let's check out the property we're going to review here in this video, which is a property out of New York. And what we can see here, this is manufactured housing, or basically it is a mobile home. We can see here on its own lot that sold for about $7,600. Opened up for probably about half that, or 182 bids, but it didn't bid up that high for what it is, which actually has pretty good value. The county's assessed value on the property is about 39,000, with their full estimated market on the property being at 92. So it's kind of the county, the ones that are saying what the actual value of the property is, and at that price they picked it up for a very low percentage of value, less than 10%, 8% of value.
Yeah, I think that the Zillow and Redfin information on this had it valued at over 120. So us valuing 100,000 was really pretty conservative. And bidding it up at 7,600 means that they paid less than 10 cents on the dollar. They paid around 8% of the property's value. In fact, we just recently picked up a trailer that's very similar through an on-site auction. And we actually like doing these kind of properties because you can pick them up for quite a bit cheaper, yet it's still a single family home to a degree. People are looking for, more affordable housing. And picking up a trailer like this, we could go ahead and rehab it, turn around and sell it for a good profit. You could also turn around and wholesale it to somebody else. So they picked it up for 76,000. Let's say they sold it for 50 grand. They're still making $40,000 plus. They could do that in a short period of time, or they could go through and do what we call lipstick rehab, clean the property up, maybe put 10 or 15 grand into it and cleaning up the lot, cleaning up the property, and then turn around and selling it for that $100,000 price point. But either way, they picked it up for so cheap, and that's probably the cheapest way you can get into some type of affordable housing.
Yeah, I think affordable housing is always going to be something that will sell well, and it's always big on the market. I mean, people are always looking for for some place that they can live, and with a price point like this, the fact they're only into it for $7,600 gives the buyer a whole lot of options here when it comes to selling it. This would be a great property for them to wholesale to somebody if they just wanted to get out of their property quickly. They could decide to set a certain wholesale price point on the property and can probably unload it and sell it pretty quickly. So, for example, if they decided that they were going to sell it for 35,000 to a wholesaler, there's a good chance they could do something like that, sell for $35,000 to a wholesaler, would put pretty good profit in their pocket and allow them to walk away without doing anything to the property. It would also still leave quite a bit of profitability for the wholesaler to fix it up and turn around and be able to sell the property or rent it out long term. In fact, if they wanted just to have a rental property long term, this would be a pretty good start. And it's hard to be a start like this because you're into $7,600. You could invest your own money, into fixing it up a bit and have something that would be rentable and have pretty good value as well for not a lot of money. You could have a property that could bring in $1,000 a month that you're into for less than $20,000, less than $15,000.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, even if they were to put in $12,000 cleaning the property up, making it rentable, they'd be into the property, $12,000 total, and I mean $20,000 total. And let's say it rents out for $1,000 a month or $1,200 a month. Within a year and a half, this property is going to pay for itself. Also, wherever we're looking at these properties, we're going to look for things like open windows, any type of roof damage, anything like that. And looking through all the photos that the county provided, we didn't see any evidence of that. In fact, Shade was just out at a buying tour with our students where we take them to go view properties. And that was something that we saw on some properties. When we see a window open and it's vacant, that's a big red flag that we're probably going to avoid that property because we don't know what the interior condition looks like. But in this case, we saw the windows were shut, picked up for a good price, and overall, they have a lot of different options on it.
Yeah, in fact, yeah, it is bad if you drive past and you see like an open door, with the vacant property. That's like seeing a hole in the roof. It's devastating for the property, for the property's future anyway, because you just know that a property like that hasn't been secured is going to have a lot of problems, a lot of different issues, and could very well be more than you want to deal with, just because it's been completely accessible all of that time. A property like this is nice and secure. It's a rural property here, but it has, good value. And it may not have been vacant. In fact, it may not be vacant now. I don't know. We're not sure here, on this, but what is nice is that, like Steve was saying, the condition appears to be decent, and certainly salvageable and fixable.
Definitely. If you'd like to learn more, go ahead and check out our website at taxsalesupport.com. You can become a member. It's going to give you access to our auction list, to our weekly webinars, to all of our programs and materials. Really is what we think the best value in tax sale education.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you like this video, be sure to hit a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet.
Yeah, appreciate it.